have this opportunity that we wouldn't have had years ago to ship a game and then really collaborate with people outside the studio to figure out, like, what is the best version of that?
Honestly, yeah, like, we're building something the community has been asking for, and it's accumulation of everything that we believe the game needs to be.
The upside to that is we're not holding anything back.
All the feedback we've heard for the last year is, this is it, it's in Forsaken.
We want this release to have a different tone and a different vibe.
We sort of just embrace that Western revenge vibe.
You're going to a darker place. You're going to take on a different role as a Guardian.
A barren landscape with, like, the asteroid vibe with, like, tumbleweeds. And, I mean, that just sounded cool.
Grit, man. Want to bring the dirt back.
But what better way to start a story than to start it with a prison break?
Right.
Cade's been filling this prison with bad guys that are really bad. And so when it breaks, things can happen to all the world.
First place you're going to go to is the Table Chore, which is a new part of the reef that you've never seen before.
That's right, my friend.
It's a collection of lashed together asteroids and rocks out in the asteroid belt.
It's very otherworldly, and it's full of
pirates and assassins and
bad guys.
It's become a lawless place. It truly is a frontier. It's completely taken over.
The most malevolent force there is the Scorn. They're very aggressive. They're always going to charge and push you.
The Barons are the top dogs in the Scorn, and each one has gone back and, like, committed nefarious crimes.
I think of it as the reverse Magnificent Seven, like the worst of the worst criminals. You are hunting down these different Barons. In fact, they're called Baron hunts. So one Baron is a sniper, and you have a sniper versus sniper battle with them. Another Baron is this big, giant, hulking melee character.
One of the things we're most excited about is the new weapon system.
Hey, if you like Destiny 2, great, play that way. But if you like Destiny 1, great, play that way. But if you're crazy, why not 3 shotguns, right? Just for the fun of it.
We need to have as many ways as possible, and then we need to have people fighting about it. Like, no, man, you f***ed up, you're taking the wrong weapons, or can I say?
So randomables are coming back. Every single weapon is going to feel different when it drops. And we're improving the mod system, so you can customize your weapon the way you want it.
We've got a whole new masterwork style system coming together where you actually are able to kind of move your levels up over time. And so there's investment back on the weapons again. New supers, yeah, crazy new supers.
What's your favorite?
Fire knives are awesome, which is a different take on Golden Gun.
We took a lot of inspiration from Rise of Iron. Cast that thing. You got a huge hammer now, and you slam that thing down, and it sends out this fire in front of you that then creates a fire tornado. We got to take it to the next level, you know?
The idea that anyone who plays, however they play, they're going to have some new way to engage.
Yeah.
I'm in love with the new Void Warlock. Teleportation that's like super anime, just like
We've been having great games with the Arc Warlock.
Basically cast this thing, he pulls back. Yeah, and it's gonna break the game, and I think that's amazing, yeah. You know?
We also wanted a new weapon type that felt meaningful, so we came up with a bow and arrow, which seems kind of crazy, but when you use it, you feel like godlike.
It is utilitarian, it's fantastical, it's also sci-fi.
So we have a short-range bow, we have a medium-range bow, we have a long-range bow. We built this guy, which is like supposed to be super techy.
You're like, why would you ever choose a bow in a game that has an automatic, machine gun? But boy, it's deadly.
I mean, that's a nice machine gun you got there, buddy, but right, and then it's done.
The biggest thing for me going into production on this game was like a new way to play, a new thing to do that like is new to Destiny.
Let's see what we've got.
We want to be able to give players what they want, but also surprise them.
Gambit is a brand new mode.
Destiny begs to marry PvE and PvP together.
It's like adding bacon to peanut butter and jelly.
You start off being able to see the other team that you're going to compete against, so you can taunt each other, you can emote.
Each team is in their own separate arena, and they're being assaulted by combatants.
They're dropping motes for you to collect, you bank them.
When you put them in your bank, you're going to send a blocker over to the other side that locks their bank down. They can't put motes into it until they take out that blocker. Filling up your bank with the motes is how you summon your primeval. You burn it down, that's it, round's over. The interesting part is that we allow one person from your team to go over to the other side and physically invade. I mean, I've seen people that just hate PvP. Like, the first time they invade and they get multiple kills, they'll come back and they'll be like, suck it! It's awesome.
We leave the raid team alone. I mean, if you can't tell, like, we just kind of let them do their own thing. But
we have Joe over there.
For this next raid, we wanted to get back to the epic adventure where you're going out to slay a big monster again. This raid has more bosses than any raid we've ever had before, and we're really excited to get players in there.
The raid is actually about more than just the raid. It's about the Dreaming City, the place that the raid exists. And it's an in-game destination that we've never done before.
It's the awoken homeland.
I could talk about the Dreaming City for hours. It's like if the Vault of Glass and Dreadnought had a baby.
If they were like twins.
Or the yeah, that's actually more accurate.
Yeah, they're like twins.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
had twins,
Yeah.
and then you took those twins and you put them on the doorstep of Peter Jackson, raised them as his own, and then that's the Dreaming City.
It is magical and weird and mysterious.
It's designed to be a destination that has puzzles that you need to solve.
A lot of hidden corners, lots of passageways that might not seem to exist the first time.
And the raiders, they affect this destination. They change it for everyone.
It's like this cyclical endgame place where there's just secrets and different activities that unveil over time.
So the Dreaming City that you see at launch is not going to be the same Dreaming City 2-3 weeks later.
So with every design decision we made for the Forsaken, like the first thing we ask is how will the community react to this?
Players want their investment in Destiny to matter, and they want to be able to see that reflected in the content.
We knew we wanted to do something for the collectors in our game, so we built a feature called the Collections. It's a way for you to track all the items that you can go out and acquire.
There's so much gear in our game. There are 2,000 items you can get. Go get them.
You can look at sets and you can say, I haven't filled out this set. What do I have to do to go get it?
If I want to find like how many guns in the world, I can actually go look now.
We also had a triumphs thing, which is just acknowledging your achievement.
It like ties into records, it ties into lore.
It's a thing that can help you drive like, hey, I want to do that. And if I do those things, I can get a title. Like I can have a title floating over my name that says that I'm a god or whatever. Not me, like you.
We wanted Forsaken to feel like a game that never ends. So we're going to reinforce the hobby and make the experience something that can be played night over night.
We're changing the weapon slots. We're changing how the pursuits work. We're adding new features like the collections and the triumphs. We built Gambit.
We've got a whole bunch of new weapons to chase, exotics that are really powerful.
We have Lisa focusing on some sweet new exotic armor. Maybe we've gone overboard, like dialed it too high.
Or to go out there and collect in the world, exotic armor pieces to go out there and hunt.
We're working on armor perks, random rolls, new mod system, new subclass paths.
We're making Forsaken for people who love Destiny.
Making a game that we can all love. That is the goal. That's what we're going to constantly be pushing towards, always.
Everything we're building is through that lens.
Hello.
I just saw you guys in that video.
Yeah. I know, it's very, very fancy.
Are we live? Is this real?
Calm down, dude.
Is this now?
It's just me.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
Okay, good. Well, in that case, welcome to the live portion of the show. That was obviously a Bungie Vidoc so that we could reveal Destiny 2 Forsaken, a major expansion to the game that we've been playing since last September. And this September, we're going to have all new ways to play and collect and evolve and do awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So it's my pleasure to introduce you to my two fellow co-hosts, two developers who have been leading our team in the development of this new adventure. They are Scott Taylor.
Hi.
And Steve Cotton.
How's it going?
So these two gentlemen have been with me on stream previously. If you've been watching Bungie streams for a while, they may seem familiar to you. Scott, you and I sat next to each other right around this time last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yep.
God, time passes
It
so
does.
fast when you're playing fun. So we were together for the reveal of Rise of Iron.
Yeah, that was great.
And Steve, you and I traveled all the way to Germany by way of 2 planes and 4 trains.
18
and
trains
18
and
trains, yeah. But you were on stream for the first time that we ever revealed private matches and playing in Rise of Iron. So welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
For people who might not be familiar with you, for people who might not know what you do here, talk to me about what you do at Bungie and what your contribution to Forsaken has been.
Right, so I am the Forsaken project lead. My primary job is controlling Steve. When I'm not doing that, we work with a lot of awesome people, the leads of the game, to make sure that Forsaken ships and is everything that we want it to be. So that's kind of what I do.
Do you concur? Are you under control?
Well, I prefer loose cannon, I guess. Maybe. No,
Okay.
he keeps me under control.
Yeah.
He's
Step
good.
into analysis.
Step into.
Listen,
what
that it worked.
It's the Westworld.
So what's your role on Forsaken?
Oh yeah. You know, in a game, any game, but a game like Destiny especially, somebody kind of has to try to keep the whole game in their head so that we're making all the right decisions for what's best for the game. So I guess that's what I do, and you know, set high level direction and goals for the teams. But mostly, I think I just listen to a bunch of great ideas and nod a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and we, enabling so many different disciplines, so many different teams to work on this game, and we got to meet a lot of those teams and a lot of those people in the Vidoc. Narrative designers, sandbox designers, mission designers, activity designers.
Yep.
So it's all coming together all over again under your direction. So we're grateful for it. What have been your overall goals? What have been your super objectives in the leadership and guidance of all these teams working together?
So we had 2 goals with the Forsaken, Scott and I. The first was to kick off the game with a brand new story, one that had a new tone and a new style, one that we're both really, really excited about.
Yeah.
You saw a little bit of it in the Vidoc, but
just a little bit.
We're not going to talk about that much today. I think we want to leave that for a little bit later. But the other goal was that we wanted to reinforce the Destiny hobby. And that was about bringing depth back to the game. It's about not depth in the way that we challenge players, and the way that they discover secrets and the systems, and the way that they learn about the game and feel smart and think about the game. So those were the 2 goals.
Okay. When you talk about bringing depth to the game, I think we took a look just briefly at the Dreaming City during the Vidoc, and I think this is a great piece of evidence as to your commitment to the end game and exactly how you're bringing this depth to the end game. And I love the statement that this is the first time that we've ever built a destination to serve as the home to the end game, a place where all of those things can live.
Yeah. So I don't want to spoil the surprise here, because that's what the Dreaming City is about. About being a surprise, but it is a destination built to have some of the most difficult challenges and the deepest secrets. But it's one that I think we want to leave for another day as well.
Secrets aren't very valuable.
We're being coy about a lot.
It's funny. Yeah, we haven't. I mean, actually, we're just really excited about the Dreaming City, and it ties into the raid in a really special way. And so we're showing more of that than we have before. But it's because we really want to show that the raid and they all tie together in a really impactful way. But player discovery is really important, and so I think we're going to kind of leave it there.
That's fine
for this.
Yeah.
But
you have a lot of
look how
endgame.
pretty.
You have a lot
look
of
how pretty.
It is pretty.
Look how pretty.
It is pretty, and you have a lot of endgame promises to make. These are promises that we will keep in the game, and also promises that we will elaborate on all summer long. This stream is the beginning of a conversation. I think we're kind of creating a table of contents of conversations that we will have later on. The story reveal is planned for E3. So next week, we'll learn a lot more about the story that they're telling. We will learn more about our endgame challenges as the summer unfolds. May even invite some people outside of our studio to experience the Dreaming City and to talk about its promise, because we're pretty good at saying that what we make is cool, but an outside perspective is always valuable. So these are curiosities that we will pay off later. Apologies if you want us to delve all the way into the deepest reaches of the
time
Dreaming
will come.
City.
We want you guys to play this game.
Yes,
we want you
we
guys to
do.
play the
We
game.
do, in fact, want you to
Yes.
play this game.
Yes.
So these are conversations that we'll have later. Something that we talked about a great deal in the Vidoc was Gambit.
Gambit my shirt.
Gambit, yes, or as our community has come to know it, Redacted.
Yes.
So this was the super secret mode that we have had some people in our community get a first glimpse at here in our studio. If you were one of those people, one housekeeping note, we do want your reactions and your hot takes about Gambit to be kept under wraps until the first day of E3. But if you'd like to raise your hand and say, I have played Gambit, that's a good beat for this moment.
They can replace Redacted
with Gambit. Yeah, that's about as much as the conversation has evolved.
That seems good.
But while we did talk a lot about how it plays and what the essential experience is, what have been your goals for this new activity? We've never seen Destiny played this way before.
So it was really important to both Scott and I that Forsaken was able to deliver a new experience to people, right? And so what we gave the team, Lars, Robbie Stevens, the team free reign to invent something completely new, but specifically one that took advantage of all the best aspects of Destiny. So shooting monsters in the face, shooting guardians in the face. Bring those together and then add like big bosses and small bosses and treasure goblins. And
like moat goblins. There's moats.
Moat goblins.
Moat goblins, like Golden Axe.
Yeah, and then
one player's moat is another player's treasure.
That's true, actually. Yes, that is true.
If you bank
those
them.
are a thing. Those are a thing. Yeah. So all of those things, and then the team did something really awesome, and they added a risk-reward strategy mechanic to the game that really changes the conversations and the way that the decisions that you make during the game. It's no longer just about how fast can I shoot a guy and bring him down. It's about, well, should I be killing guys? Should I be collecting motes? Should I be banking? Should I be invading the other team? And so the result is fantastic to play. The community got to play it.
And then, actually, this is really cool. At E3 next week, people will get to play Gambit. That's what we're going to have there. So on the show floor, we're going to have Gambit. And Gambit will also be like, on the director, it'll be its own node. This new activity will live alongside the Crucible, the Strikes, and now we have Gambit.
Yeah, it's its own thing. So as Scott just said, we will be at E3 for the 6th year in a row. We will be at the Activision booth, working with our friends to put on a great show for everyone who gathers around that space. Stop by and play, stop by and spectate. This is our first opportunity for people to get hands-on with this new activity. Now, if it's a little late for you to be planning a trip to Los Angeles or trying to score an E3 badge and you want to join the hands-on pre-launch conversation, we're going to take that same Gambit build, that same pre-launch build that we're bringing to E3, and we're going to ship it straight to Tampa, Florida after E3 is over so that it can be playable also at GuardianCon. So we're going to be sending an away team to that gathering of community and content creators. Gambit will be playable there. And if you want to be included, get yourself a ticket to GuardianCon because we'll be there too, and we'll see you there. Anything else that we want to say about Gambit before we move on?
Just excited for people to play it.
Yeah. Yes. So you've talked a lot about reinforcing the hobby, and once the Destiny campaign is finished, a lot of players are always asking us, what's now? What's next? How are you going to keep me engaged over the course of a year? Give me a roadmap for all of the other moments when I know that my hobby as a Guardian is going to be infused with new things to do. One of our new answers to that question is something that we're calling the annual pass. This is a new way for us to sustain the game with new releases of content. And if we can keep the main graphic on the screen for just one moment longer, I want to call out the fact that the annual pass has 3 different releases. This is live on DestinyTheGame.com right now, and because our product pages have gone live, we just want to set some expectations for how this is different from what you may have known this year. If you played Curse of Osiris, if you played Warmind, this is a different thing. So if you're the type of person that throws your money down on something as soon as it becomes available, we'd like to set your expectations that this is different than those expansions. What we have here are 3 different releases that will come out over the course of the year Black Armory, Joker's Wild, and Penumbra in the winter, spring, and summer to come. So these releases are a new way for us to deliver content. What would you say, what purpose would you say that these serve?
I think that the purpose here is to give you more of what you want more often.
Okay.
It's also about, it's more about chasing the power and the gear.
Okay.
Basically that's it. I mean, it's
Yeah,
more often, more stuff that you care
huge
about.
cornerstone for Destiny, the acquisition of power, the collection of new gear, the upgrading of your character. That's really what people talk about when they refer to the Destiny hobby.
Yep.
Let me take a deeper dive into exactly what you'll find in these different releases over the course of the year in the annual pass. And if we can give people a read on this, here is what, across these 3 different releases, you can find in your annual pass. Endgame challenges, obviously new things to collect, new and returning exotics, new pinnacle activities, deeply challenging things to really test your skill and your teamwork, new triumph records to collect, and we'll take a look at exactly how that'll unfold in the game, and new lore to discover and collect in the game using new tools and features that we'll be delivering to every player. The annual pass does have exclusive content for the people that purchase it, but this collection game is about to evolve in year 2. So I would say that to set your expectations for this right now, we're leaning harder into the things that keep you coming back to the game week over week, month over month. It's activities, it's action, it's challenges, it's things to earn and collect. We're not leaning as hard into cutscenes or cinematics. Obviously, we're telling a story, but it's a story that you'll discover in moments of action, the reason we play the game, and things that we can collect, and our understanding of the world that you're creating will grow over time through the annual pass, and you'll be building on the great story that you're telling in Forsaken.
Yeah, it's definitely about not having just a single moment where people come back and having that kind of extend and stretch out.
Yeah. And each of these releases, the 3 releases that we indicated, each of those releases begins a new season of play. So they kick off the season. It's a season that every player can enjoy with the people that own the annual pass, but it is sort of a thematic shift. So with the new beginning of the season, with the new release in the annual pass, we create a new theme that presides over everything that people will be doing in the game.
Yeah.
This is obviously something that you'll need to know more about. This is something that we will be talking more about, but because it's live and because it's available right now, we felt this was an important conversation to have before everyone made the assumption that, oh, these are these 2 expansions that I'm used to getting in Destiny. We've reinvented the way we sustain the hobby. We've reinvented the way that we release new content after launch, and we'll talk more about this. We'll talk more about everything we're talking about today, but we'll definitely talk more about this soon. Anything else you think I should be saying about that?
No.
That's kind of the new raw space, but
it.
We'll get more into it. In addition to the annual pass, obviously there's all the things that we do for every player of Destiny 2. And we're going to continue to update the game. Got a brand new roadmap to put on the screen. If all has gone according to plan upstairs, we have a brand new roadmap that has been updated on Bungie.net right now. So if this isn't entirely legible on whatever screen you're using, Bungie.net has our new June 5th development roadmap. And this is where we plot the updates that every player of Destiny 2 will receive. And as you can see, update 1.2.3, 1.2.3, so you don't think I'm just counting, due out on July 17th, has some pretty exciting new developments that will change the game even before Forsaken launches. Let's call out some of the things that we're looking forward to the most. Solstice of Heroes seasonal event.
It's very fun.
Yeah. So, and while the annual pass will have different things for players to tackle and enjoy, every player of Destiny 2 is going to continue to enjoy these seasonal events, these special occasions. Solstice of Heroes really deserves its own proper reveal.
Yeah.
So we will talk more about how that'll play out. 6v6 quick play.
Pretty great.
Yeah. So the 6v6 playlist in the Crucible will permanently be home to 6 players versus 6 players. We'll keep competitive as that intimate little sweatier, a little more challenging 4v4 engagements. And for those solo players out there that aren't excited about 6 players versus 6 players in those stacked teams, the Rumble playlist becomes permanent. And then all of the other things that you may have seen on a previous roadmap, bounties, prestige raid lairs, and some of the different features that improve your quality of life as a player. Let's move on to year 2.
Yeah.
Along with the launch of Forsaken come a lot of interesting evolutions to the Destiny player experience. Scott, I think you can agree with me when I say that the most important development, the most important update on this list, bulk shader deletion.
I don't think it's a question. I think it's just. I think that is just a fact.
That
We can
much
just
is
move it up the
bulk
list.
shader, and then shaders also are
Put it where
evolving
it belongs.
in our
Yeah.
other some other features.
All
as well.
kidding aside, shaders have been a very large conversation in our community, but there's a lot of other things here that a lot of players of Destiny can get very excited about. Power matters in Iron Banner and Trials, so if you want to win in the Crucible in those special events, you better commit to the progression of your Guardian. What else are you excited about? What else you want to call out?
Oh man, well, there's vault space, which is also another thing that we add all this content, and I don't want to spoil ahead, but that we're adding some random roles. And
sure.
we can jump into that. But those things all tie together, right?
Yeah.
And so because we're doing that, the vault space is pretty important.
We'll take a look at gear collection and in-game triumph in just a minute, but it's important to call out that while collecting gear and keeping it in a menu that's sort of like your accomplishments, weapon randomization, or more affectionately known as random rolls, that is something that is coming back. Let's just say it again.
Yeah, they're testing it upstairs right now. It's coming back. We're bringing it in. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
What's your goal for that as a game director?
Yeah, the goal for random rolls is just to get to make earning gear more exciting to players, to personalize their chase for weapons and armor, and to really get add that depth that we were talking about before to a system that they can now kind of learn and dig into and try to figure out.
Yeah, I'm loving this recurring theme of depth.
Yeah.
Every drop has the potential to be exciting, to be something new. And then when you get those weapons, how do we arrange them on our character? The weapon slot changes are something that are in development. We've seen that in playtest.
Oh yeah, and yes. Actually, do you want to talk about how it works? Then I can.
Sure, like weapon slots. Weapon slots are really exciting. I mean, all those things on that list are exciting. The weapon slots, especially, because the weapon slots are really about giving you more control over your playstyle. So for me, it's about getting my fusion rifle back.
Sure.
That's just that's my priority. But for everyone else, I think it's different, right? And so now you have more control over which weapons you can put in those first 2 slots. You can still roll your 2 hand cannons if you want. Or you can roll 3 shotguns, Deej, if that's.
I do enjoy shotguns.
Yeah, but it changes the way that you think about the weapons that exist today, because it's going to force you to move things around in a way that's really interesting, and then it changes the way you think about ammo and the way that it works. And so I'm really excited for people to play the weapon slots at E3.
Yeah, and so yes, like Steve said.
Sorry, to steal your thunder there.
Whatever.
Yeah,
spoiler.
I didn't control him.
Yes.
He was next to me.
There you go.
You're a loose cannon. You're a loose cannon.
I was keeping my mouth shut for a little while on purpose.
Right. So at E3 we said we're going to play Gambit. That means we're also going to be able to play test the new thing. So if you want a sniper in your primary, you want to play the bow, we're going to have those things as part of that Gambit experience.
And an E3 test build, is usually it's in development. It's not the full game. It's not the finished product. We usually deploy a limited inventory for use there, so it won't be the full realization of how the new weapon slot changes will work, but it'll give people a sense of how we're changing combat with access to different types of weapons for different opportunities. And like you said, you're going to let people play the way they want.
Yeah, and those are all going to be Forsaken weapons too. So it'll be new cool stuff that people get to see in the different slots.
Yep. And I did say that Destiny won't necessarily become Rocket Launcher the game, or was that just a fever dream from a rehearsal that we had prior to the stream?
You said the fever dream.
Did I say that live? Is this now?
No, this is now.
Is this now? Okay. Yeah, so there's all sorts of other conversations that we'll need to have about ammunition and balance and all of those things. So this will be a long conversation throughout the course of the summer. Where are we going next? We called out on the roadmap that gear collections and in-game triumphs are something that we're bringing to every player of Destiny 2, and we caught a glimpse of that in the Vidoc. But just to reinforce the fact that it is in fact real, I would like to break net live to a build of the game.
Can I say something?
I would love for you to say something.
So this is a build we propped from someone's machine. It's totally in development. We are going full transparent. You're going to see things, numbers, whatever. They are all like they're not fake, but they're not real. They're
not done.
They're not done. We're back into Westworld. Like what is it? So they're not done. And so when you see something that's a number on a screen or this is about, we're going to show you guys the bones, and I am not uncomfortable about this. This is going to be great.
This is a look behind the curtain. This is a glimpse of something that is, in fact, in development. You can see our brave guardian named Bungie TV. This is a hunter that we have cobbled together for the purposes of this demonstration. This is obviously not my character, because hunter. But
what are you?
I'm a warlock.
I know.
Have we met?
Oh. I'm a warlock too.
There you go. How you doing? Here you go. What are
you
you,
guys
Steve?
Can take Titan. You guys
are
can
you?
take your warlock.
Okay, so that's the end of the stream. No, I'm kidding. So if we take a look at the global navigation here on our user interface, across the top, the first thing you'll notice are some new feature tabs. The first that I'll call out are the triumphs.
Yep.
And if you can pay some special attention to some of the headers here, all of this is a work in progress.
I want that placeholder medal.
Yeah, you want that placeholder medal? Yeah, exactly. That's a hard one to get.
Is it bad that I actually want it just because it's like glowy and yellow?
But there's a lot of empty space that you can populate here. You talked during the VIDOC about some of the different badges and some of the different titles that you can display to commemorate your accomplishments. We're going to take a very high-level view of this, and everything that you're about to see is a work in progress. So you can screenshot this, you can speculate this. All the numbers will change. As you can see, we have Gambit-specific triumphs to collect and to lord over your friends. How you collect motes or the blockers, or you can see that we've broken this out into different categories. Again, there are not 0 of these things, but you can see that this is about creating many different levels of meaning and letting you gather these things together and categorize them in ways that make sense. So that's Gambit, and then across here you can see that, again, the numbers are meaningless right now. We are in development. Different triumphs for PvP. You'll be dispatched by the Vanguard, and then, of course, we are collecting in-game lore so that when we're telling stories that you discover and collect, even if there aren't cinematic cutscenes, which you have in the Forsaken campaign, of course, but throughout your hobby as a Guardian, there are going to be other things that you get to collect and add to this space.
And really quickly, how that works is that you're going to find items in the game that tell a story, and then you can go and gather them and collect them and then read them in here.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to find that story out of order too, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
you're going to find. So like you're going to find items out in the world, and you're going to open them, and it might be page 7 of the story, and you're going to piece it together throughout your travels of all the destinations.
Like a well-armed anthropologist. So let's take a look at collections. A lot of people have, when they talked about Destiny, they're like, how many guns, how many exotics, where can I find that stuff, how do you get that stuff? This is going to be a great guide as you assemble your perfect arsenal. Again, we're going to leave a lot of this stuff for exploration at a later date, but just to show you how one of these categories works, we're going to take a look at the exotic arsenal. So you can see here that we have this grouped out by weapons and armor. So if I find something out in the world, if I buy something from Xur, if that fated engram pays off, this gets added to my collection.
Yeah, so once you've acquired something, then it's here. So this is obviously similar to the kiosk that's in the tower, but one key difference, as you noted earlier, is that this is with you at all times.
Yeah.
So certain weapons, like the exotics here, you can buy back for a price, and so you can, with the vault space and with this, you can kind of move with some more confidence that you've gotten the thing that you want.
And when you say buy back, like if I were to acquire Sweet Business and dismantle it, not that I would ever do that.
Why would you do that?
Because it's so sweet. But if I did that, and then later on somebody said, you dismantled Sweet Business? What are you, an idiot? Like, what, did you think you weren't going to put an exotic in your heavy slot?
Well, you are an idiot. But.
Yeah, I know. I am an idiot, but I still play this game, and I love it just the same. And if I wanted my Sweet Business back, I could use this collection system to restore it to working order
Yeah.
in my inventory.
That's right.
Using different materials that I've gathered. It's different for different categories.
Yep.
It's a long conversation that we're not going
Yeah,
to
to
have
be really
today.
clear, that is explicitly about how the exotics work, and we're working on everything else.
Everything
So,
else. Everything else is a work in progress. And because exotics are a thing of mystery and discovery, you're not going to tell me, you're not going to give me a full menu of what exotics you own and what exotics you don't.
No, but to note something there that I don't think we're going to exactly show, but if you were hovering over an Iron Banner weapon or piece of armor, it would tell
It'll
it
tell
would
you- it
point
tells you how to get it.
So it would tell you how to
Yeah.
get it. It'd be like, go play that Iron Banner or go do this strike or whatever the circumstance is.
Yeah.
It'll let you know. Or if it's mysterious like that, it will
Yeah.
you know, there'll still be mysterious non-exotic things as well.
Yeah. And then we're still gathering these things together and putting them into interesting categories.
Yep.
All right. And then the same goes for your weapons. You'll tell me where I can go find all my favorite legendaries, or maybe document the things that I've earned as I progress. Do the same thing for armor, breaking that thing out across all the different activities, all the different subclasses. Collect all of your ghosts, all of your different bots, all of my ships, all of my sparrows, and
Flare.
And flare, perhaps near and dear to
Flare.
everyone's heart. The flare, the things that you use to decorate your guardians. Here we have our emblems. Here we have our shaders. It's important to wear some flair. It's important to express yourself. You do want to express yourself, don't you, Steve? We
feel
really
a
do
joke coming
require
on.
15 pieces of flair
Oh, no.
in Destiny 2.
Yes.
Some
15?
people choose to wear more, and we encourage that.
That's from a movie.
It is.
You have a case of the Mondays. though.
I do have a bit of a case of the Mondays, even though it's Tuesday. But we can see
Great.
that this is an opportunity for you to look upon all of your treasures. I don't know if these numbers are placeholder or if they are finished. Pardon our dust.
Let's just assume they're all placeholder.
Let's just assume
Yes.
that they're all placeholder.
Yes, let's play that game.
That is a fair assumption. And then, as we said over on the right, all of that's work in progress or even to be revealed. So we'll be filling in the raw space over here as we finish our work on these new features.
Yeah.
And what else would you want to say about this?
Boy, I mean, like these are features available to everyone. Triumphs and collections are available to all the players of Destiny 2. So we're excited. I think that all these things go together to tell a story about depth and about Destiny for me is at its best when I have a triumph I'm chasing that's tied to a bounty, that's tied to a material I'm gathering from a public event. And I feel smart because I chose to do these things, and I'm trying to get the lore to finish the book, and so Destiny's really unique in that way where I love Destiny the most when it's that, and I think that that's been a big piece of what we've been trying to do.
It was really powerful the moment this went in, and we imported our own characters from home, and you could see this just populate with the stuff you had and then the stuff that you still didn't have. And so I know a lot of people out there have almost as much, probably almost everything that they could possibly think that is out in the game, but this tells you, like, no, you still don't have this piece, or you still don't have this thing.
So that
Which
can become a
sets do you
motivation.
want to complete?
Right.
It was
And
really powerful.
Collections launches with Forsaken, so it's not going to be like Moments of Triumph where we say Moments of Triumph are live, and our most hardcore fans go in and say, cool, I'm done, where's my shirt? Right? Like, there's going to be all new things to gather in there. There are going to be all new things that you can go and do and collect, and the collections tab will be a great way for you to sort of plan your time, which is something that a lot of people in our community talk about. I want to plan my time. I want to play my game in the most profitable way possible.
I mean, one thing we've talked about, back to the depth of the hobby and everything, is just the parallel pursuits that that players want to be on at the same time, whether it's the campaign or quests or we're adding bounties. And so this collections is just another aspect, another axis of, hey, I can be spending my time going and getting this thing while I'm getting a patrol and I'm hunting down an outlaw and I'm doing all of these things. Or the quest to delete shaders. It's going to be great.
Cool, guys.
It was almost the title.
Well, I think that's all we're going to talk about today. And I know that we have created more questions than we've answered by design. That was the plan. We will be at E3. We will be updating our blog every week. We will be at GuardianCon. We'll be inviting other people to play this game and to offer their expert external opinions. This begins that old familiar summer cycle. If you are a Destiny fan, we're going to travel the world. We're going to talk to people wherever we can find them, and we're going to introduce them to Destiny 2 Forsaken. So
We're so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for coming with us on this journey. Thank you for playing. We'll see you at E3.
Yeah.
We'll see you at E3.
Yeah.
And you.
And you and me and you and Lars and the rest of the
Tej
people.
from HMS.
Tej
From
from,
right?
from High Moon Studios, who's been a great partner
Oh my
on
God,
the
it's been
exploration.
amazing. And they were like, "Hey, you want to work with High Moon and go to San Diego every month?" And I was like, "I guess that's fine." Yeah, no, they've been amazing. They've been absolutely
great.
incredible. It's been really great.
Well, we'll see them at E3 as well.
Yeah.
And if we see you at E3, definitely pull us aside and say hi. And if not, hopefully we'll see you at some point this summer. In closing, we're going to take another look at the Vidoc, but not in full. The team that made that Vidoc for us was given a challenge. We said, take everything that you're revealing, take everything that you're saying, take everything that our developers have said on camera, and compress it into 60 seconds. So let's see how they met that challenge with
Every other
this.
word. It's gonna be good.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Check it out.
We're building something the community has been asking for.
We want to be able to give players what they want, but also surprise them.
We want this release to have a different tone and a different vibe.
You're going to go to a darker place. You're going to take on a different role as a Guardian.
We're changing the weapon slides. We're changing how the pursuits work.
Gambit is a brand new mode.
Armor perks, random rolls, new mod system, new subclass paths.
We're making Forsaken for people who love Destiny.
Making a game that we can all love. That is the goal. That's what we're going to constantly be pushing towards.
Everything we're building is through that lens.